Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehakol niya bidavaro. One of the central prayers in the synagogue is the Kaddish. It is an ode to God, sanctifying His name, acknowledging His greatness in the universe. And it is used in order to separate different sections of the prayer in the synagogue, in the morning, in the afternoon. And you need a quorum of 10 people in order to recite the Kaddish. This is why, as we know the Kaddish as a mourner's prayer, people have to go to the synagogue to say Kaddish if they want to remember their beloved ones. Unfortunately, usually a mother, a father, or a sibling, one has to go to the synagogue and recite Kaddish. Was this always so? Where do we find Kaddish in the Jewish tradition? We find that when people used to finish a tractate of the Talmud in the presence of a congregation, there was some kind of festivity, and before the festivity, Kaddish was recited to thank God, to glorify His name for the teaching that He gave us. That Kaddish also included a prayer for the sages, those who transmit the wisdom that God gave us, beginning with Mount Sinai and throughout the generations. So maybe when a son lost his father, he would repeat some of the teachings that his father taught him. And at the end of this period of study, they would recite Kaddish. Eventually, maybe the only thing that remained was the Kaddish itself, and we forgot a little bit about the study. This teaches us a very important lesson, that to repeat something that one's father taught one, to transmit his moral legacy, is probably more important even than saying of Kaddish, but we should certainly continue with the Kaddish. A great American intellectual, Leon Wieseltier, when he lost his father, he decided that he was going to say Kaddish. Since his work took him to different parts of the world, he had to travel during the year when he was supposed to say Kaddish. And whenever he would come to a community, he would look for a synagogue and thereby meet Jews also and say Kaddish at the appropriate prayers. He wrote a book about it, which is sort of a travelogue also of his experiences in different communities. He also brings to bear an opinion of Shai Agnon, an Israeli Literature Nobel Prize winner. Shai Agnon says the following: in our prayers in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, on fast days, we many a time say, Avinu Malkenu. God is our Father, God is our King. The Talmud says that there are 3 people responsible for the birth of a human being. One is the father, one is the mother, and the Almighty Himself. The Almighty participates in the creation of a human being. Therefore, if God is our Father and somebody dies, God is in mourning because he lost a son or he lost a daughter. So the saying of Kaddish is not really in memory of the deceased. It is a prayer of consolation to God, Shai Agnon says. To tell God, even though you lost one of your children, you're still great, you still merit praise, and I, the son of the deceased, say that you are still great. You are not diminished because somebody passed away. In a sense, then, Kaddish unites the mourner with his deceased. It gives him an opportunity to meet other people and establish a closer relationship. And of course, it brings God into the picture. He is the one that created each and every one of us, and it's His wisdom by which we live.